Israel has made the choice to disallow or to ban Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar entry into Israel. I find this choice to be extraordinary. AIPAC has even stepped away from them with this particular decision. Donald Trump made the point saying it would be weak to allow Ilhan and Rashid into the country. He has his polls reversed. It's weak to not be able to tolerate them being into the country, having them have a different disposition than the typical American politician that is obsequious to Israel. Can't tolerate it. That's what it looks like. That's weak. That's not strong. Now, if your objective was to be a dick, there's that. You hit that one on the mark. But don't call it strong. It's not that. They're not allowed in the country. We give them billions of dollars. And 2 representatives from this country are not allowed into an apartheid state because they don't like the fact that they know that it's an apartheid state. I want to talk about it for a moment. Welcome to the Soapbox. My name is Jamarl Thomas. This is the Progressive Soapbox. Guys, if you enjoy this content and you find yourself coming back here often, please like this video, share this video, only if you indeed like the video. And you can always support through PayPal, Patreon, not to mention subscribe. So I want to talk about this for the moment. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on it because the story kind of is what it is. But Rashida Tlaib, Muslim, Ilhan Omar, Somali refugee, they don't take the typical perspective that is the Washington Consensus on Israel. They call an apartheid state an apartheid state. And Israel doesn't like the fact that they call an apartheid state an apartheid state. And doesn't like it to such an extent that elected representatives of a country that gives them billions of dollars are disallowed into the country. Again, that is not strong. That is weak. That is extremely, extraordinarily prick, bleed and cry weak. That's what that is. There's another aspect of this that's problematic. It's to some degree overtly racist. Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib are every bit as much of American as pretty much anything else. Because there is no such thing as America. Just like there is no such thing as Israel or laws or any of these things. Those things, if you wrote down every law and you put it in a book, the book is real. The ink that you use to write it is real. The pages are real. The laws are not. The laws are not in that book. If an alien species came and picked up that book, they would have no idea what was in the contents of that book. They could hold it, they could weigh it, they could toss it around, they could throw it, they could look at the funny lettering. They would have no idea what that is unless they could tolerate it or translate what's in that book. And even then, they still wouldn't get it in a flesh-to-bone way because it wouldn't apply to them. The laws are, for the most part, in you. Those are things that you accept. Those are our own conceptions of the world, things and agreements that we make. And in an odd way, make them quasi-real. It's bizarre. My point is, there's no concept, for the most part, of America. It goes from person to person to person. It is subjective. And yet, to some degree, subjective to a point. I mean, right now, you could have somebody who is literally sitting in California, somebody who's in Washington State, somebody else who's in the middle of bumfuck Arizona, and all of them could be listening to my voice and understand me well enough in a general sense to get what I am saying. And get what I'm saying in ways that people who are not from this country won't necessarily get in a flesh-to-bone way. And the closer you are to me, meaning my residents, the more to which you will relate. There is this imagination thing that we have, this imaginary, this faculty of imagination that allows us to conceive of imaginary things. And in conceiving of those imaginary things, find a certain degree of, unanimity under that particular thing. I know it sounds weird, but that faculty, that ability for you to conceive of imaginary things is the thing that allow you to go to church, to organize from the standpoint of being in a country to the size of 300 million people as opposed to being in the size of a tiny tribe. My point is, there is no such thing as a definitive cosmic imposed America. They are as American as anybody else. They're part of this country. The elected people in this country elected them, put them into office. That's how much they are a part of this country. And again, a country that we give billions to has just told them, you are not allowed into our apartheid state. Look, any country can make a choice on who they want to let in and out of the country. They're sovereign nations to some degree. It's a sovereign nation that prevents another country from coming into existence while screaming and crying all day that they're trying to be undermined. But this looks bad, to say the least. And I'm curious on the response for the rest of the Democrats. I've seen Elizabeth Warren's response, Bernie Sanders' response, Chuck Schumer's response. I mean, it seems that people have been on one side of this issue, at least from the standpoint of that particular party. I will be curious to see everyone else's response. But gotta be honest, this is petty. It's small. And I'm sorry, strong is not the term I would use for this at all. Racist, maybe. Weak. Petty. Pathetic. But strong. No, that would not be the term I would use. I'll leave it here. Like and share. Thanks all.